Hey Cloud Gamers, and welcome to the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel. Outriders release date is finally upon us, which means we can get our hands on the Stadia version to have a look at what it looks like. This is running on the Chromecast Ultra at 4K here with HDR enabled. Those of you that are familiar with these type of videos will probably have noticed that this is 30 frames per second straight away. This is running in the high graphics mode so that we can get that highest quality, but we can see when we look at the character model here that it's not quite as sharp as we would hope. However, the environment does look extremely good. So let's switch it over to the high frame rate mode and see what difference that makes. And straight away we can see that detail in the environment drop quite considerably, and as we pan around we see that 60 frames per second, but a lot less quality on the character model as well. So how does that translate to actual gameplay? Well, let's dive into some firefights and see what happens. Now, something that you should know is that we discovered straight away when we launched Outriders is that this is the base version, or 1.0.0, whereas the Series X and PC seem to be on at least version 1.0.3. Stadia is also the only place that has this high frame rate and high quality switch at the moment, and it does not currently have the motion blur toggle to be turned off, as it hasn't had those updates that the other platforms have since the demo version. Because this is the demo version, obviously there's quite a lot of fixes that were made to those that have not made it over to Stadia yet, which is unfortunate because it has made quite a difference to the game. So when we see those improvements come across, we will re-look at the Stadia version. So this has been running in the high frame rate mode, which is actually 1080 at 60 frames per second upscaled, which to be fair is done extremely well. Especially on the TV, you'd be very hard pressed to notice, apart from having a buttery smooth frames per second, you wouldn't really tell that it was 1080 until it goes into some of the cutscenes. So let's switch over to the graphics mode and see what difference that makes in combat. And there we go, in the cutscene straight away you can pretty much see that it's 30 frames per second. And as we start moving around we do see that 30 frames per second as well. But when it comes to the combat, apart from the flames being a little bit more detailed and that frame rate being lower, I don't see a lot of difference between this and the high performance mode. Clearly, until the motion blur is able to be disabled, you probably won't see that much of a difference. So high performance mode is definitely a better way to play right now. Although the graphics mode does look good, if you are used to 60 frames per second, you will notice this 30 frame dip quite drastically. And as I said, the high frame rate mode, even though it's a scaled up 1080, doesn't look too bad, especially when you're on a TV and sat quite far away. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the Stadia version here. We were hoping for that magic 4K 60 frames per second, and hopefully we will see it when they patch the versions, and especially at least to get rid of that motion blur. I'll leave you with a bit of the rest of the gameplay here for the graphics quality mode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things cloud gaming, and we will see you next time.